Morning. Welcome to Jibo's Grill Masters. I'm Jerry. I'll be here cooking with you today. And again, we're going to be cooking on the Pit Boss pellet smoker. Today, what we want to do is some chicken. Well, what can you do on a pit smoker? You can do just about anything. You can do beer can chicken. You can do regular chicken. Today, what we're going to do, we're going to do whole chicken, but we're going to do it in a spatchcock way. If you don't know what spatchcock is, it's just a way of cutting your chicken so that it gets done all the way through and you can get some crispy skin, and it's super good. What we're going to be doing, we're going to start out with just a regular whole chicken. Nothing's done to it yet. We're going to do all the work to it here in just a minute. We're going to use some Suckle Busters chicken rub and just some olive oil. Very simple, 3 ingredients. And we're gonna make some fabulous chicken, guys. If you're using fresh chicken, I like to go ahead and just let it drain all those juices out. And I got me some paper towels and stuff, and I'll just pat this dry. I want to start with a pretty dry chicken. So there you go. You got just a regular, everyday chicken. First thing you want to do is lay this chicken breast down. Why breast down? Well, in order to spatchcock, we're going to remove the spine of this. Get you some good kitchen shears. They're also called chicken shears in some parts of the woods. And you just want to start, that spine runs the length of the body. So you just want to go to just to the left of it and start cutting. And you're gonna hear some cracking and popping. That's those bones being cut. And it's gonna take some pressure, guys. You just wanna make sure you're starting out with some really sharp shears. Starting at this end, where the tail is, the head, you can get a better start on it. If you need to finish up down at the bottom, you can. There we go. Get that spine cut out. You can see I just went along the side and cut all those bones and stuff. And then you got an open chicken. Next thing you want to do is you want to take your knife, find the center of that breastbone right there, and you just want to put that into place. Just give it a little pop. What that's going to do, you hear that snap? I made that so that breastbone popped just enough so this chicken can lay flat. And that's what we wanted to do when we are putting it on the smoker. Next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna remove some of this fat. Don't need a lot of that for what we're doing and smoking chicken. It just is not great. So remove some of that fat, some of that skin, get it trimmed up. And then you just wanna make sure you get your chicken cleaned well. A lot of times they miss some of those innards, kind of like they did there. Get those cleaned up. Just gonna take a paper towel and wipe mine out because I want to get all that stuff out of there. It's not gonna hurt you, but it's not gonna taste great either, guys. And then I'm ready to go with a little bit of that olive oil. What I'm gonna do is put a little bit of that olive oil in my hand, and then I'm gonna rub my chicken down. I want to get it with a light coat of olive oil. What that's going to do is that's going to help that chicken brown up good, and it's going to help that skin, when we put it on the other side, crisp up really well. And then you just want to hit it with that Suckle Busters, guys. You can use whatever rub you like. What we're using today is just that Suckle Busters chicken rub. That's some pretty tasty stuff, guys. We put that olive oil just to help hold that seasoning on there. Then you just grab your drums, flip it over. Be careful, make sure you don't have any of those innards in place. And then you're just gonna come back with some more of that olive oil again. You want to rub that breast down, get those wings good and coated. It don't take a whole lot. A little bit of olive oil goes a long way. Just make sure you get all that skin nice and coated. Then you're just gonna come back and you hit it with that sucker busters again. I like to lift up that leg there so I can get some of that sucker busters on all that skin underneath there. Make sure you get your wings nice and coated, outside, inside. And try not to touch it with the wet part of your glove. If you need to get it detached more, just flip your hand over. Use that dry part of the glove to get that rub to stick. And then it's ready to go on the smoker, guys. I've preheated my smoker to 300 degrees. We're going to end up cooking these chickens for probably 2.5 to 3 hours until we reach an internal temperature of 165 degrees. We're going to try to pay close attention to that. We're going to stick a probe in one of them so that we can watch it, but I also have another probe inside, and I'll show you guys how to check those breasts here in just a little bit once we get going a little bit. Going to take the chicken, go over to the smoker. The smoker's nice and hot, ready to go. Grab those drums. You're just gonna stick that on there. That sounds good. So guys, one important thing to remember is with chicken, you have to get it to the right temperature. So at Jibo's, we carry these Pit Boss smokers. With your purchase, you can get one of these magnets to put on the side of your smoker. It gives you the internal temperature for what's safe for your meats consumed. So for chicken, we want to get to 165 degrees. In order to do that, we're going to use our probe so that we can monitor what our internal temperature is. So I'm just going to plug that in. I'm going to come over here to one of my breasts, and I'm just going to stick that right down into the middle of that breast. Why am I using that breast? Well, that's the thickest part of the meat of the chicken, and that's where you want it to monitor to get to 165. If you get that breast to 165, the rest of your chicken is there. We'll be back in just a little bit. Okay, so right now what I'm doing is I'm moving my chickens around. I know that I have some hotter spots in my smoker here, so I just want to move these around, and I'll show you what we're doing. We're trying to get to an internal temperature of 165. Right now we're sitting at about 140 on this breast. If you have a digital thermometer, kind of like this, you just get it out, smoke it, put it in that meaty part of that breast. And watch it. This one's right at about 130. They're all going to be different. Look at there. That one's already at 164, 165. That one's almost done. But don't those chickens look so good, guys? I'm about ready to dig into them myself. All right, welcome back. We've been cooking these chickens for about 2 hours and 15, 2 hours and 20 minutes. Now it's time to check those. I did look at my probe over here. It says I'm at 157. These probes aren't always as accurate as something like this is, so I want to just go in there and check it for sure. It's pretty close. Oh, look at there. We're at 167. Pretty well ready to come off. They will continue to cook as you take them off. When you're ready, you just want to take them off and you want to let them rest. You want to let them rest for probably between 5 and 10 minutes to let all that juice get back into the center of that chicken, just like you would any other piece of meat. Go ahead and pull my probe out with my tongs there, because that's going to be hot. I'm going to set this one on here. I'll pull that other one off in just a few minutes. So we're just going to let those rest, and then we're going to cut them up, and we'll be ready to have some lunch, guys.
We go.
All right, we're back. We've let our chicken rest now for about 10 minutes. We wanted to do that to let all the juices reaccumulate into the center of the chicken to keep it nice and juicy. Now it's time to get it cut apart and ready to go. First thing we want to do is just remove these wings. They're pretty This bird is so tender right now that really you just break it apart. If you need to use a knife, you can use a knife, but really, you don't really need it. Next thing we're gonna do, we're gonna remove these thigh quarters. And these, again, you just wanna run your knife just gently through the skin there, and then it's just a matter of it comes straight off. So tender, so juicy. Man, look at that. Looks good. Next thing we do, we're gonna cut up our breast. Find that breastbone in the middle. I like to run all the way through my chicken and get that cut apart. It's gonna make taking it off the bone that much nicer, and you won't lose a lot of chicken. But guys, look how juicy that is. My goodness. So I just like to come in underneath this bone right here and just cut straight through. We're gonna get as much meat as we can off of here without sacrificing our chicken. Once that's done, man, breast done. Again, guys, look how juicy that is. My goodness, that's good stuff. And look at there. Then you can just go back and clean up your bones. And while you're at it, guys, hey, got some moist, juicy, great tasting chicken. Thanks for being with us today. Hope y'all have a blessed week.